Hey, this is Sebastian from the Metal Gods Meltdown, and this evening I am joined by...
I'm Steve Ramsey from Satan.
It's great to be chatting to you this evening. Infernal is a bruising beast and riding high in the charts around the world. Would you say the album has reached the expectations you were wanting or more?
Yeah, I mean, we were very surprised at the success of Cruel Magic, the last album we did. But this one's actually ascended that one. So it's really great, you know. We're so privileged to be able to come back and do this music and have everyone so interested in it. It's great.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, mate. I can remember, I won't tell you how old I am, but being 11 or 12 years old in 1980, 81 when the Friday Rock Show used to be on and Satan being featured on there. So it's a bit of an honour to be chatting to you.
Thank you.
I love the fact that Satan is still have reformed and you're still going and making awesome metal in 2022. What keeps you inspired and continues this metal dream?
We've always loved what we did, but in the first instance, when we made Caught in the Act, it was released to poor reviews, and we actually thought we were doing the wrong thing when we were kids, you know.
Yeah.
And to have the interest come back later on, and especially with young fans, not the old fans, you know, it's unbelievable, and that's what keeps us going. You know, that people are interested in what we do. We've always loved what we do, and we love writing songs, and we love playing live. You know.
Yeah, it must be really gratifying, when you're on stage and you look out and it's not just old fogies. It's we're not calling you an old fogey, do you know what I mean? Older people, but you're seeing youngsters there as well. It must be really gratifying for you.
It is. It's superb. It's that's what shocked us the most, because people kept asking us to come back and do some shows, and it was like, yeah, we've done that. We did a show in 2005, I think it was, at Wacken, and really we were drawing a line under it then. And we got hassled by the guy that runs Keep It True Festival, Ollie, and he just kept hassling us every year from that date until we went and did his festival. And he said there's a lot of young fans into the band, and we kind of didn't believe it, you know. And when we got there, we realised that it was true, you know, that we had a lot of new fans into the band, and that was like, wow.
Absolutely, mate. So you're obviously familiar with Mithra.
Yeah, we know all those guys, yeah.
Well, Alex Perry, he was my manager for 3 years when I used to work at a theatre in Hexham. And I was telling him and begging him to get reformed, and they did reform, and they went on a mini tour. They went over to Amsterdam in Amsterdam, 2017 that was, and it was amazing. I think they've changed the vocalist now, but they're still going strong. So it must be so good for you to see these bands.
Yeah, it's great
reforming.
That the music that we were making back then was important enough for actually people to still want to listen to it now. So, you know, we obviously were making a difference. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'd love to reform, but I think they've just totally disappeared off the face of the earth. Them, because I was a real big Tobruk fan back in 81, 82.
Yeah, I'm not doing a couple of shows with them.
Yeah, did you? Fucking hell. Yeah. Okay, so can you tell us then? You've got a few festival dates already set up, haven't you? I think you're playing in Durham, aren't you? Is that right?
Yeah, it's a Dominion Festival.
Right. Okay.
At the end of July.
Right.
That was a real surprise to us, because we didn't think that kind of festival would actually exist, especially up in the north of England. It's great, you know.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised.
Hopefully, it'll be a success.
Well, mate, I live down by Durham now. I've been up north 22 years now. Fucking hell. Oh. Yeah, I've been up kind of while, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, nah, that's not happening. Usher College, nah. And I'm taking the girlfriend to Cyprus that weekend. And we're going to Cyprus for a week. I can't believe it.
Oh, nightmare.
I can't believe it. Honestly, God, she's a new girlfriend. She's 12, 15 years younger than me. and we're trying to get her into metal, and that she would have loved that. Fucking hell. Anyway, just the way it is. Okay, back to the album. Which track from Earth Infernal is your favourite today, and why? And don't say they're all your babies.
Oh, right, you asked me. It changes as we listen to it more, and obviously from writing them. When you write them and they're first recorded and they're demoed up, then you pick your favourites, and then when you actually go in and record the album and everyone does the final thing on it, things shift a little bit, So we all love Burning Portrait right from the start, so that's a big favourite. But I like the quirkier stuff that we've done on this album. Songs like Luciferic. I think that's turned out really better than we could have hoped for. Poison Elegy, they're a bit different from what we've been doing on the last couple of albums. So we're sort of progressing in a furtive, gentle way.
So obviously the album's not been out that long, but are you ready demoing for the next album? Have you already got ideas for what that's going to be?
Yeah, we never stop writing. It just goes from like recording one to instantly starting to come up with riffs and stuff. So yeah, there's a few riffs kicking around and lyrical ideas maybe, but mainly we'll start off with a big bunch of riffs and then start creating the music.
Cool. Can you tell us what first inspired you to become a musician? And do you remember the first ever performance with Satan? And how many people were there?
Oh, wow. Yeah, the first ever performance with Satan would have been at school. I think we were about 15. We did 4 songs in like a sort of battle of the bands, or it was one of those things, or a competition, like a music competition. And we played Motorhead by Motorhead. Oh God, Pinhead by the Ramones.
Oh fuck yeah!
Yeah. We liked a bit of punk and a bit of metal, and so yeah. A funny set. 4 songs. I can't remember the other 2.
But it's good you can remember, dude.
Doctor by UFO. That'll have been one. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first thing I learned to play on the guitar.
That's excellent. And they're still going strong as well, just about, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay then. So who would you think has influenced the world of metal and rock more than any other person?
Wow. Cool. For heavy metal, it's Black Sabbath for me. It's it's the old cliche. It wouldn't exist without Black Sabbath. So probably Ozzy.
Yeah, absolutely. He's still fighting strong. I think he's got COVID. He's just had COVID, I think, and he's like back on the track. So hopefully he might do a tour. You never know. Can he remember or tell me, or has it happened, the most outrageous thing you've ever done in the name of rock and roll?
Oh, most outrageous. In Skyclad, we were asked to go to like a music mogul, like to try and sell the band to a lot of distributors and stuff in a hotel by the company, and he wanted us to mime to. We did a Thin Lizzy cover, and he wanted us to mime to it. And we basically thought it was a poor idea, so we all stripped off naked and walked out onto the stage naked in front of all these guys in suits.
That's excellent.
We started prancing around, like miming to the song, like just totally naked.
Okay. If you could go out on tour with 3 bands, dead or alive, who would you choose?
Wow. Well, it would definitely be Black Sabbath. Probably our biggest influence when we were kids was the way for playing guitar and wanting to be in a band and stuff with Judas Priest, the Priest from the 80s, the 70s, sorry, the late 90s. That was our big focus. So probably them and maybe Led Zeppelin.
Excellent, mate. Yeah, well, for me, like, I got into metal. I was more into hair metal and everything, but I wasn't such a big fan of Sky Club. But, you know, I've sort of gone back now and started listening to them. So yeah, I wasn't such a big fan, but yeah, I remember seeing you in Kerrang. All right, next thing then. What would you like Satan to be remembered for in 100 years' time?
I would like people just to think that we like I said before, we were making a difference. You know, we were trying to stick out from the rest of the crowd at the time with our music, and I think that was to our detriment. You know, I think because the guys that reviewed the album thought it didn't sound like all the other new wave of British heavy metal bands, that it was something wrong with it, and they made us feel like that. So I like to think now that people, and especially the young kids that are listening to it, and maybe musicians, young musicians, are seeing that, yeah, we had something to say with our music, you know.
Absolutely, can agree more, mate. Okay, if you were stuck in quarantine for a week, which band or musician would you have with you?
Russ. Russ Timmons from Zen.
Fair enough. Can you complete the sentence? Everybody needs Satan in their lives because.
Wow. I have to watch what I say. Yeah, everyone needs Satan in their lives because he makes you happy.
Brilliant. And the final one is just 5 questions, either or either. So it's festival or small intimate gig.
Oh, definitely small intimate gig.
Absinthe. I can't even speak properly. Absinthe or beer.
Oh, beer.
Saint or sinner.
Sinner.
Mask or unmask.
Ooh, masked.
And the final one, Sunderland or Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Fucking right. Get in there. Get in. Good answers. Right. Do you have any final words for your fans and our viewers and listeners?
I'm really looking forward to seeing a lot of you at any shows that we're doing coming up. You know, keep looking at checking up on the websites, and we'll see you there.
Brilliant, mate. Thanks ever so much for your time this evening.